as you approach towards it, your body feels your body feels like it's almost like touching just a font of just happiness and light.
Oh, that's pleasant.
Though this is interrupted when you hear your name spoke. So someone seems to speak your name from upstairs.
Oh, what sort of voice is it?
It is it is a rather strong male voice with a strange amount of clarity to it.
Is it his full name or just Laurel? Or...
Your full name is spoken.
Well, I'll turn and look.
Up on top of the staircase is a figure dressed in, well, seemingly dressed in large white robes. A hood covering the majority of his face, so you can see his face. He's holding a large scepter with a gemstone in it, and above him, almost like a crescent halo appears, of which I actually have a picture as well.
Oh my. God damn it, I'm
Um,
gonna get that sound effect.
the figure that appears here,
Oh my.
well, you
Huh?
know, one sec, I'm gonna show you the picture.
Oh goodness. A
Oh,
picture, you
Jesus.
say?
Well, precisely.
well.
He doesn't seem to even be touching the ground fully.
Not quite Jesus, but it's Zacharias.
But you do recognize this individual
It's
As-
Sebastian!
as Prince Bishop Seol III, the Lord of all the priests of the Empire.
Holy
Oh God.
fuck.
Also the ruler of the priest quarter
Run,
in the
man.
city.
Run. Just.
Well, Laurel will, bow deeply.
He bows to you as well.
Say, Prince. It's an
Lord
honor.
Mayor. I apologize for calling a unwanted meeting so early.
He looks around. Just, yes. I was trying to sleep, really, but
I apologize, I do not have any simple magics to contact someone who's, well, I know so little about, other than, well, through this place.
it's like this. Very well, then I can't imagine what you would want to. A meeting, you say?
Yes, I've been getting disturbing reports from your district.
What? What reports?
Reports of cultists.
Yes. Yeah, there has been a problem with that.
Please explain to me in detail what's been happening.
He'll basically explain that they began after the plague victims. The place was destroyed. We tried to save everyone. We only managed to get most of them away. So apparently it turned to some sort of cult behavior, and we ended up cleaning them out after seeing what they did. We'll also explain the symbology they used, and for example, nailing the person to two houses, and basically everything he remember. He doesn't want to disappoint this person.
He listens, clearly in deep thought. Very well. Thank you for everything you have done, as well as trying to clear out the cultists there. You've done a great job towards the holiness of our city and the Empire.
I do as best as I can. So what do you gather from it? Should we
It
be
is
worried?
it is disturbing. This isn't the first time it's happened, and other reports have also been rising that unusual activity has been happening. It worries me. It feels like a war is on its way.
A war with the Empire?
No, not directly of the Empire. More a holy war against the churches.
I know little of religion, but these cultists are vile, and I would not want them within my jurisdiction.
We don't want them within the Empire as a whole, which is a problem. Well, I must thank you for the help you have done. you've done a great favor in helping us make sure they've cleared out.
So I'll do more. I'll keep eye on them, and if any more seen, we'll deal with them swiftly.
Good to hear. Now I will allow you to rest again. Though I as the Prince Bishop, thank you for your help and your services.
I'll just say yes, and if the Temple District should ever need alchemical reagents, I do run a small shop. It's probably not well known.
It likely is. It's likely not something I've heard of for now, though my time is very caught up managing the churches.
Oh yeah, sure.
But nonetheless, I shall keep this in mind in case anything comes up.
So very well then. It has been an honor.
It's been a pleasure meeting you as well, Lord Mayor.
And you, Prince Bishop.
He gives a smile and moves himself towards the exit.
Also, excuse me.
Yes.
How do I leave?
Ah, of course. You haven't had a full meeting yet, so you would not know.
No. Not really familiar with this place.
This place is the area between a lot. It's been here though ever since the Imperial family gained magic in their blood. And as long as one survives, this place exists. No, nonetheless, to leave, since you are bound as the Lord Mayor right now, or you should simply be able to ask it to leave. Just feel for it, and it should come to you. It's very, very intuitive.
Just very well then. He so sense of thinks about leaving.
You think about it. Would you be willing to make me an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma check?
Stat check, sure.
Any mental-based check. And a gateway appears in front of you.
Oh.
Just the crystals just seem to form and shape themselves into a gate back to the real world.
Oh, we'll go through that. His mind popping with what possibilities else this place could have. He's not going to mess with
Before you go through the
Empress
portal,
private magic place.
before you go through the portal again, the Prince Bishop just simply says one more comment as he's walking away as well. For your knowledge, I am deeply sorry that we could not intervene in your district.
Well, it doesn't really answer that.
And with that, Laurel is back in the chair he was in before. Time not seemingly have passed at all.
Oh, I'll go back to goddamn sleep. The rest of this tea and then sleep. This is well, it seems like he's never off work for reals now. It's kind of rude.
That was
He also thinks that technically he is this guy's like equal in rank. He has a district, this guy has a district. He'll never feel like that though.
And so the rest of you awake in the morning. You're all, to not be precise, you're all woken by what's just basically fills the town with the large sound of like the bell tower ringing, almost like choir singing.
Oh, damn it.
God.
Stupid religious shit waking me up.
Oh my.
It actually sounds kind of beautiful.
Oh.
Or like wakes with the set looking around thinking, exit. Like, oh.
Oh,
I'm just in a bells.
Ruth will,
Thanks, exit.
when she wakes up, she'll gather her things, head downstairs to get some breakfast.
You were given a rather fine breakfast. You were given some bread, some water, some fruit.
Lovely. She'll ask, is it just a waitress serving me, or is it the,
It's a waitress serving you.
uh,
You also go up to the bar, you also go up to like the counter. I'd say the bar, but it doesn't really have a bar.
yeah, does there seem to be an older, older man running it, older woman?
I just seem to be a rather young man running it.
Okay. Much older than Riff?
24, 25.
Okay. Alright, never mind then. Riff will just eat her breakfast.
Do you want to eat breakfast?
Yeah.
Ballard comes down. Is there like a fire running?
There is a fireplace.
Yeah, Ballard pops out his griddle and some bacon.
There's already a full bacon up in there.
You could fucking.
That's not
I'm sure
that's
you
not
could
a
ask.
a bacon. That's a giant pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
No,
just
I make
eat
my
the
own
back.
bacon. I
Like-
don't want his stuff.
Like, oh man. You
So
carry-
it's like pig, but it's really made of carrots.
Do you want like a bag of holding for bacon?
I got it.
Like I
Nope.
could craft that, man.
Nope, I call that my mouth.
It can carry 150 pounds of raw bacon.
I can do that.
Does Zoe have breakfast?
Yeah, she'll join Rifflin for breakfast.
It's a very light breakfast, so it's surprisingly filling.
Is
Laura
there
doesn't have
magic?
Laura doesn't have to eat unless he wants to.
It doesn't.
Is there magic?
No. You don't sense any magic, at least.
It's just good food, man.
Everything's magical.
Everything's magical with Rifflin.
Yeah. It's oh, what's it called?
The table
Lambus
is
bread.
magical.
It's Lambus bread, isn't it? The elf bread.
Yeah.
One
Definitely
crumb,
not a type of bread you had before.
one crumb could, but with bacon, yeah.
Yeah, right? Or like an endless ration.
Yeah.
You know, everlasting ration or whatever.
Raphael's up on a chandelier, if there is one.
There's a little lamp up there.
There is no chandelier.
He's under a table. I don't know. He strolls down, eats, I guess.
One of the other guests asked him to look respectable. It's a fine establishment.
Imagine he'd just get up and start eating breakfast.
Like, oh, he's always respectable.
Raphael is wounded. Raphael is always respectable.
He tried to make a duel out of it.
Of course.
A
Oh.
duel is not accepted.
Raphael is sad.
It would be rude to spill blood over anywhere in the city.
Well.
Yeah, like, I assume Laurel doesn't eat since he got ring of sustenance.
No, he broods instead.
Riff
Mumbles
will
to himself, considering all these things. You know, he clearly had a rough night.
Riff will ask why he looks like he's brooding.
Say, oh, I was, he sort of looks at her and says, you're good with the arcane, right, Rosalind?
She nods.
What is it called if you are being dragged? Your mental state is being dragged out of your mind and pulled to a distant place between dimensions, existing within the magical potential of one or two people, wherein then you meet the mind of another being brought through the same process.
Riff kind of looks perplexed. I don't know, do I do it? Knowledge Arcana?
Do a knowledge arcana, see if any of this actually makes sense to you.
Yeah, let's see. Boom.
Damn. What is wrong with my
yeah,
rolls?
you can both comprehend the basic idea. Riff really doesn't know much about it.
Damn. What is wrong with my rolls? That's like a +7 and I roll a 10. That's average. God damn it.
You know, Ballard considers. I mean, he knows about some things. It almost feels like astral projection to him, slightly.
Hmm.
Well, whatever it's called, that's what happened.
Yeah. Keep in mind, whenever Ballard explains things about magic that other people don't get, he doesn't get it either. He just says, "Huh, I get the feeling that it's like this." Because it's just from his blood. He doesn't actually really know any magic.
You don't study it.
He just does it.
Well, I suppose Riff just knows because she does it.
I
Often.
mean, you
A lot.
you consider you don't really know much about this kind of magic either. None of you happen to have planes, do you?
I don't have planes, no. I need to take it next level.
Who's gonna take planes? If someone else take planes, then I'm not gonna put points in it.
I don't
I
have
can- I'll
room
do
for any more
planes.
knowledge skills.
Okay.
I can get planes.
Okay, then I'm not gonna do it. I'll just focus on my skills.
Yeah, you're not really none of you really know much about the other planes, though, so you can't be.
They don't really have a lot to do with alchemy.
No, it doesn't.
Like if you live on a plane of fire, you don't really have that many ingredients. Like you have fire, and yeah, that's
Maybe-
pretty much it.
If you're lucky if you have some magma.
Yeah.
And fire and magma. I mean, that's not a whole lot of interesting reactions there. It didn't happen.
Sometimes you get like some just like volcanic rock.
Maybe like a desert full of flaming tornadoes, something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's not that great.
When Laurel explains about it, if he explains about it, Riff will say that she wants to visit, just plain and simply, while she in between bites. Oh, I'd like to visit there one day.
Also, she goes, "Oh, you wouldn't. It is rather awkward, really. You meet these people whom you only know by name. You have maybe heard of them and speak of new laws and the like of the entire empire. It is a completely different life, a completely different magnitude of being these people. I really can't relate to them at all."
It really looks like Raphael is sitting there.
Riff shrugs and says, "Well, I kind of feel out of place in most places, so I don't see the problem, to be honest."
Maybe then, once the elections are held, you should sit up and offer your services to the city.
Riff just laughs at that and then carries on eating.
You can be quite charismatic. I know you.
Riff flutters her eyelashes and says, "Oh, you."
Slight smile and shake his head. I feel scandalized.
He's leaning on his chair, rakishly.
Smacking his feet up on the table while other people are eating.
Yeah, do you set out after this? Do you set out on the road, or is there something else you want to do?
No, I think we should just hit the road again.
Sure. Maybe there are more business partners to be made. Oh, Laura can sell extinct plants. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Even if it's small amounts, you know.
Should have said that to the Prince Bishop. By the way, I have some seeds of an extinct plant. Do you want them?
Look, Griffin has crossed her arms.
Well, Laura's gonna have this is gonna be his next research project, probably.
Yeah.
Reviving dead species of plants.
They'll sell for millions.
Ice Age pear or whatever.
Yeah, very, very well. Yeah, you're a bit behind schedule in your travel, but yeah, you're going to continue traveling then for a few days.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone want to give me a D100?
I certainly
Yeah.
can. I have a button for it and everything.
Oh my god!
Oh
my
no, my
God.
button's broken.
Oh god!
My
Big
button
win.
broke.
How could you make that?
I won even though I accidentally... here, I'll write what I originally typed.
Oh, my button normally does the press enter.
I originally wrote that and had to rewrite it, and I still beat you to the punch.
No, mine's just a button and it should just hit enter, but it didn't. It didn't.
You know, there is dice box.
I have it. I have a button for it too.
I have a
I
keyboard
just
button.
always forget about it. Oh, you
I
have a
have-
keyboard button.
I have
You
a
like
keyboard
macro set.
button,
That's cool.
but then it's just that.
So you continue traveling for about 3 days. You're making quite fast paced. mainly downhill is where you're going. Most of it.
Double
It's quite
horse
quick.
speed.
Until you
Apparently.
eventually reach a large forest.
Oh. Okay.
This large forest is rather close to where you want it to be.
Can we see the peak from here? Or the
It's
tree?
really kind of hard. It's
Yeah.
very thick forest. You did see it on the way down towards the forest.
Yeah.
Alright,
You
well,
can see it in the distance, like surrounded by clouds.
the carriage guy will know the way, right?
He knows the basic way. There is an eventual point where you'll have to go on foot because the horse won't be able to get any further. But
Oh.
mainly because he knows there's a rather weak bridge coming up.
Oh. Okay. So we'd have to cross, and like the horses.
The horse could not cross with the carriage.
No.
So he
Oh.
basically leave. Or stay there while we're...
He'll wait there until you come back.
Oh. Okay.
Or
How
if no
far?
one comes back, or if no one comes back after like 2 weeks, then he might.
Yeah. How far is the peak? Could we estimate?
From where you are now.
Yeah.
Probably about 10 miles where you are now, and you're going to be riding through the forest for a bit.
Okay. All right.
Do we have horses to ride on?
Well, right now we're in the back of a carriage for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Until the bridge comes up.
yeah. From the bridge, how far would can we ask how far in the bridge is?
The bridge is probably about like a mile out from the mountain.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's fine.
You're right. The forest is actually like very dark. It's very overgrown. There's not actually a lot in the way of animals around. Maybe you saw like a ferret.
Okay.
Like in Pokemon games.
There's a dim. Yeah.
Just intense, just very dim, like uninhabited forests.
Yeah, you see like a ferret, maybe a bird or two, but surprisingly quiet.
No game, huh?
Not really. Though about a few hours through your ride, you do actually see a large area of about 4 or 5 just dead bodies of animals.
Oh, it's like just laying
dead?
there?
Yeah, just laying on the
What
floor.
animals?
Their bodies half eaten. To be precise, they're elk.
Oh, half eaten. Alright.
Oh, I like elk.
Like their stomachs, like basically their stomach area is completely gone, but nothing else.
Right, yeah, something ate them and ate the soft parts, I imagine.
Yeah.
They got eaten by like face huggers, and then the chest bursters got.
Riff doesn't seem phased at all by the dead bodies.
No, the only thing that quite catches it odd to you is really the fact that it's about
Wait,
7
so-
or 8 of them piled up there.
So only the stomach?
Pretty much only the stomach, from what you can
Alright,
tell.
Laurel asks, should we stop? I mean, I can carve a few good cuts of this. See?
Riff,
So it looks like she's about to puke and walks away.
Riff,
Right.
Riff will stop Laurel and say, if I'm not entirely sure if that'll be good. We don't know how old this is. Maybe I don't think Zoe would want to check it over, and I'm not
I can
that-
do it.
You can certainly do it. I'm probably not the best at doing that sort of thing. I could try.
Laurel knows how to skin and prepare an animal. He's hunted pigeons before.
So it
Right.
was
Ghost died when his family didn't have any money.
so it whispers back. I'm used to dead bodies from humans, but animals just gets to me.
It's alright, yeah. So maybe different when they're cooked.
When Ballard and Laurel were kids, Ballard would kill the pigeons and Laurel would cook them.
When when Zoe was a kid, it was her mom who would tear them apart in front of her,
Alright, so can we check the
but
Yeah,
only
it's
to
up the
torture, not as
carriage.
food.
We all have happy stories about pigeons.
If you want to
Okay.
see how old the body is, make a heal check.
I'm gonna do a check and see if they're. One
Ballard
rant,
wants to try.
19? Wow.
9. That's a rather unfortunate check.
Darn.
Riff looks around for the different signs of decomposition. you know, you look them over. Laurel really just gets a little bit confused with it, but
Oh,
you know,
fine.
I mean, you haven't done this in a while. You're out of
With
practice.
deer. Mostly not deer.
But Riff has a look, and some of them are very, very faintly warm actually.
Oh,
The kill, as far as you're concerned, is not even a day old.
okay.
Oh. And
Riffa will.
I rolled a 1. It's
Riff-
because he's sick.
Riff will stand up and says, "Well, if they're still warm, their hunter is nearby."
we'll check. Does, see if you can see what sort of thing, like if it's cut open, or if it's bitten or ripped open, or...
You look at it, it looks almost like one huge bite.
It looks like something very big has just bitten the whole stomach area out with a single bite.
Riffa kind of takes a step back and says, "Well, it seems like it's had its fair share, but I don't like the idea of sticking around to find out what can make a bite like that."
I'm sure it's fine.
And she watches the tree
Nairo
line, basically.
transmits a feeling to you.
What feeling?
Overwhelming fear.
Riff, from a general direction?
From the direction of the peak.
So, what, looking at the peak, or just in the direction?
Looking in the
of it?
direction of the peak.
Interesting. Riff will look in that direction as well, and scans the tree line.
Perception?
Do you want me to roll again?
Specifically for this.
3.
Riff like sees like a little blur move for a second, but she didn't really catch any detail.
Okay. Riff will say to Laurel, "I saw something."
You could just get an animal, maybe make for 2 meals per deer.
Yeah, you can go ahead and put together some rations extra. Maybe have some nice meat with your new meals.
He doesn't need them. What do you think about jerking it?
You could.
This usually gets very tough if you don't let it hang for a few days. So cutting the slices isn't really work with it that way.
Does Nairu's gaze follow the kind of shadow's direction that she saw?
It seems to be out of range, and Nairo starts calming down.
Okay. Did it look like it was going away?
It's flying not towards you. It seemed to fly behind the mountain.
But what?
Something
Behind
huge
the
enough to be
mountain?
seen in prospect to the mountain.
Okay. That's worrying.
Or we'll cut out. How many meals can you get from it in good time? Well, I'm sure Barlow will help.
12, so that's 1 from each, I'd say. So, I mean, there was a decent pile of them there. You could probably get about 7.
Oh, 7
I mean, these are rather big elk as well, actually. So
rations of elk, not elf. Elf.
it's actually rather large elk, really.
Good. Yeah.
To give you an idea, they rival the size of your horses.
Well, if he can manage, he'll also try to grab some fur, maybe even a few good pieces of bone.
You can go ahead and definitely do that. You can probably get about 40, 50 gold pieces worth of animal parts.
Riff cannot get her eyes off of what she saw. What Nairu seems so terrified of.
I'll do that and leave the rest of the carcasses there, as I say. Right, I think I got what I could. He sort of looks a little ashamed at us. It wasn't my. It's a long time since I've done this. So, I'll do better. I'll almost assuredly do better next time. He looks although you should not look a gift carcass in the mouth, as they say.
Gift carcass. Oh god. What were the perception checks for?
They were looking for monsters.
Oh, okay.
We making cutting animal.
Yeah.
So we got a few rations of meat.
Yeah, Ballard can cook those up for you. He's good at cooking all kinds of meat. He's like terrible at everything else though. Just
Yeah,
meat,
it's
bacon.
actually rather large elk as well. You've got here. They rival the size of your horses. So
Oh, delicious.
Oh well. Those
yeah,
are small
literally
elk,
large
actually.
size.
Don't you know, he got some tongue, he got some liver, different things, and what was left, mostly just the sort of back pieces, The good stuff. He even cut like a bit of some ribs that weren't broken and stuff. It's great. It's great.
An elk the size of a horse is rather small.
It's like 7 days worth of food here.
Kind of storage. I don't know.
Well, in D&D, normally for elk, they're normally just considered to be medium creatures.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. They're like
Elk are-
normally horse-sized.
And
Given
elk are-
the,
well,
that
Yeah.
it depends on the area, I suppose. In the UK,
Guess
they
so.
can be small. Like, well, a deer, they can be smaller than horses. And an elk is a
Yeah,
form of
deer
I
are
suppose.
usually smaller.
depends on the size of the horse in question too.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. But I suppose if it's
Miniature
Pony?
horse.
a carriage horse, then it's gonna be
I
a
don't know,
pretty
they're
fucking
big
big
fucking
horse.
elk.
They're fucking
And
they're
they'll,
huge.
they'll
Anyway, we
completely
got some
squander
elk.
at the butchery, but
Anyway, you keep riding for a while, and eventually, eventually you're told that you're told that they need to stop here, and Raphael can also agree with this, where you seem to have reached a canyon
Oh,
with a bridge you're going across.
okay.
Kind of bridge, like a rickety wooden
A
one.
rickety wooden
Yes.
thing.
Damn it. Like balance checks rickety.
You could probably take 10 and get across.
Okay. Nairi will just fly over.
No flies across.
And you just kind of stands on a peg on the far side, just watching.
Because this is what happens when I try
Yeah.
to balance.
Yeah.
That was enough, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright, Raphael, try. and
Well,
go
I
across as well.
have no penalty, but I also have no bonus. So,
Yeah, you want to take 10, you can do it.
yeah. Oh.
You're looking to beat a DC of 5.
Oh, great. Oh, perfect. We're good.
No, it's not actually DC 7. Just realised.
We'll take 10, yeah?
Yeah, you can take 10 and get across, no problem. You don't have to roll.
Right, not a hurry.
You got nothing rushing you.
Yeah, yeah.
No dinosaurs charging you. Yeah, you get across. The carriage driver tells you he'll wait for you. He'll wait for you here. We'll set up camp. As you start making your way down, who's carrying the tents?
Riff will
Ballard's carrying his and Laurel's.
put as much as she can into the bag of holding.
Okay, the tent can go in the bag of holding.
Like we're camping. No. Laura's never gone camping with Ballard before.
Well, this will be exciting.
Ballard's never gone camping.
Yeah, Zoe's never tried camping either.
Ballard has
Well,
never
Laurel-
left Emerisia. Not
Laura
even
has
like on a
slept
boat.
in the street sometimes. That's when he was younger and get lost in the poor district, unable to find his way home.
You're such a sad person.
Well, I guess that counts. Yeah, Ballard's done that. I mean, he lived on the streets for a while.
So
As you keep moving, you go through like a clearing of trees, and before you see like a nice pool of water. It's like this shallow pond.
is it sort of running water or?
It is running water out of the cliff.
Oh, how nice.
To be precise though, you also look up and notice there's a building in the side of the cliffs above.
Oh, does it seem to be clean enough to drink?
Well, here.
Riff will, oh wow.
Oh my.
Um,
The water seems very clear. It seems like a natural spring.
natural spring.
I know Ballard. It's like, ooh, pretty.
Riff will advise the group just to not drink before we see what's further upstream.
Also, for you.
Yeah, check for things.
Earl doesn't need to drink.
You know, we
Also for you, that is your destination.
Ah,
so it can purify food and drink.
well, if it was like a healing spring, it could have been reversed entirely, and it could now cause
Be
severe.
a death spring.
It could be a death spring now, so you know.
There is no magic on the spring.
Hold up, hang on. Is this like a river?
You don't really know. You haven't seen that.
Well, I was just wondering, like, if it could lead like to here, then we could like follow the river back and then kind of take like a shortcut over.
No, this is definitely a river going in this direction.
Riff
Yeah.
will point to the buildings that are in the stonework and say maybe we should check that out.
What time of day is it? Like morning, right?
No, right now it's about midday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You were travelling for a while before getting here.
Yeah, I think it's best to check it, see if they could.
Should mark it. You've gone forward a few days, so.
Okay.
Mhm.
How long can we estimate how long it might take to get to our destination from here?
If it's a mile, it should only take like an hour.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. So what we should do, since it's midday, what is it, like summer, right? So the
Days
so the
rather long.
sun's days are rather long, yeah. We should probably set up a camp here so that way we can kind of basically, you know, venture out wherever we please and have a place to return to.
Are we by the clearing by the spring then?
Yeah.
Alright, Riff will look to the buildings and seeing as I have a +3 because it's bright and Nairu's on me. See if I see any movement in there.
No.
Why doesn't Nairu just fly up and look in the windows and tell you?
Because he can't tell me.
Does
He
it
just
look?
feels.
He can relay information, and you
No,
can
he
tell
can relay
him.
emotions. That's it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can relay
well,
emotions.
yeah, well, that's what I meant, emotions, and he can be like, "Oh, interesting."
Does it
if
look
there's
like
anything
it's been dilapidated and broken down, or is it maintained?
Well, there are bits of it that look a little bit dilapidated, but yeah, overall it does seem to be decently maintained. It does seem to be an architectural style though, which you're not used to seeing.
I'll comment not on the architectural style. That's just that that's too much. He'll say it seems to be reasonably generally maintained.
Does Nairu feel anything?
I mean, no.
I mean, no.
Nice to be heard.
It's the Northern Air Temple.
Shut your mouth.
I'm pretty sure seeing thousands of skeletons there, he would feel something, you know.
The Northern Air Temple's the one where the Earthbenders were, or the Earth Kingdom was.
We
I
know.
don't know. You know.
Let's ascend.
Skeletons. They cleared all them out.
Alright, I suppose we could see if anyone's in there and we could just set up shop in there, I suppose, but
That's kind of rude. Bringing into someone's summer home and
it's better than sleeping out in the wilderness where things large enough to take single chunks out of large elk. And Nairu was pretty terrified about something.
it's a bird. Could be like a bigger hawk.
Riff kind of scowls and Nairu definitely scowls. And Riff
Laura
says...
would say that.
Alright, well no, Riff actually saw a very large like shadow go behind the mountain that we're going into. So
I mean, it was only a brief second. You had no, you couldn't really
yeah,
judge
it
it.
was like a brief second, but yeah.
Let's go knock on the door, shall we?
That was.
There
that's
seems to be a set of very, very, not very wide, but steps carved into the side of the cliff. You can walk up, and it eventually leads up to basically a plateau of a platform leading up the side of the cliff with and in front of it is a large-sized door with a little string attached to the side.
Is there anything attached to the string?
A little wooden handle.
Just a wooden handle. Huh?
Sure.
A doorbell.
Open the knock on the door.
You knock.
There's like a door hammer,
There isn't a door hammer.
right?
Guess we if we knock and there's nothing, I suppose, then
You hear.
Or we could pull the string.
pull the string.
Sure.
No.
Pull the string.
You pull it, and the sound of what must be at least a dozen bells chiming.
Told you.
Should we have pushed it like the stick in that wall in the cultists?
You can't really push a stick on a rope. But yeah, that chimes, and after a while, you hear the door start to slide open.
Oh, after doing that, Lord will step back so Rithlin is in front.
And the door's opening outwards towards you, as well.
And from within peers an orange-robed monk with like
Jake.
a flying bicycle.
Shush.
Jake, stop it.
Riff will take about a step back from how far the door opens out to. So she's quite close, but not too close.
Well, Raphael would take this one.
Well,
Raphael cannot take this one. He is not here.
Raphael is
He's like,
looking
well,
into the
you're
forest.
quite a beautiful woman.
Raphael, the fiancé.
Yes, a lady with rather wild tattoos all over her opens the door.
Actually, Raphael Eldado Dante Arturo Intiqui di Fiance. In notes.
May I say you are very strange, my lady.
Raffaele Duolo don't Arturo Nicky de Firenze.
His name is in notes.
Ah, okay. Riff seeing this lady smiles and says, sorry to intrude. We were travellers and we saw this lovely building and I wanted to learn. Wanted to see if anybody lived here.
Travellers? How unusual. You're far away from everything.
Riff smiles and says, "Yeah, we have a destination in mind."
What destination could you be thinking? This is a rather strange route to get to anywhere. Unless... there's something about the mountain you want, isn't there?
Riff nods slightly and says, "To be exact, the heavens fall."
Ah, I see.
What?
Do not worry. Would you like to come inside?